Artwork. What the fuck?
Well, he's playing Siege, so I mean, it's hard to fap to that.
He's got good hand-eye coordination, though. He could do it.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's pretty impressive hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's not hand-eye coordination.
The way the dog looks. Oh, God.
All right.
Feedback on your end, Bob.
All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome to Friendly Fire, episode 18. Tonight I'm joined by the usual cast of suspects. Yeah, largely too with Bumbles. Mr. Darth, I'm going left to right from my screen. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
All right. Not by seniority or favoritism, but I was joined by Mr. Darth Vader. He's going to be our heavy hitter in Battlefield, I guess, right? Battlefront, I'm sorry. We're going to talk about that a little later.
I can talk about either one.
Yeah, no, we're going to do that too. Mr. Bumbles, who may or may not be able to talk about some other topics, but we're going to skirt around those as best we can. And Mr. Doge. How you doing, Mr. Doge?
The Doge is here.
The Doge. It's all been a ruse, guys. The real puppy is here tonight.
The real puppy is actually
everything before this has been green screen magic. My production skills. Now you have the real in the IRL Mr. Puppy. I'm sorry if I stop talking. It's because I'm staring at the Doge. Let me just say this before I forget. There's a chance that I will have to just abruptly get up, walk out, and excuse myself. My wife went out tonight, so she's gonna be home at some point theoretically. If I don't get up and have to go talk, that's even a bigger problem. So if you see that, don't be worried. These guys like to talk, and they'll just take over from there. Hopefully, it'll be on a topic I don't give a shit about, like something Puppy's playing. And so I'll be back 5 minutes, no big deal. Beyond that, let's do this real quick. I'm gonna drop a link in the chat, just saying we're live. Please click that and retweet it if you have Twitter. If you are so inclined, it would help us out. Oh, let's see. The last podcast was October 17th. I actually did my homework on this one, boys. That was 3 months ago. So we're tearing it up. We're really doing good. We've talked about, 3 or 4 podcasts in between, but the holidays and stuff, I'm not surprised. That's what happens. Let me just remind you guys, Comment King is a contest we do here. Basically, throughout the cast, Puppy monitors it, or Doge, I should say. Whoever's kind of contributing the best to chat, kind of asking the best questions. It's got to further the topic. It can't just be flaming me because we've given too many T-shirts away for that. At the end of the cast, we'll pick a winner, and I'll send you a T-shirt from the store down below. It's kind of cool. Gives you guys a little incentive. We appreciate you hanging out, so it's a little way to just kind of give you guys something back. As far as that, let's kick right off. Like we like to do is kind of go AFK. What you've been doing away from the computer. Now, just keep it short because it's been 3 months. But Darth, we'll start with you. Anything you've been doing non-gaming related that might be of interest? I don't think I have anything, but let's see if you do.
I baked 1,500 cookies, but I don't know how interesting that is to people.
Thank you, Mr. Puppy.
That is a shitload of cookies, dude.
Now, the question everybody wants to know, did you eat those cookies?
No. I ate some of them. The rest of them went to work. Otherwise, I would not have enough camera to contain my mass.
The schmooze cookies, right? For everybody at work. Why am I all these things all moved around? All right, Bumbles, what about you? You do anything that might be particularly interesting? I'm almost
My father's 60th birthday was last Saturday, so there was a huge party, and that's when I came to your stream drunk as hell, just unable to type, and tried playing some Call of Duty with Puppy, and that didn't go too well. But yeah, that's about it. Nothing special going on in my life.
All right, Pup, what do you got?
Life, dude. Nothing. Nothing. The wife got a new job, so that's been, that's thrown our whole house up into chaos. But other than that, ain't been up to too much. Started streaming myself a little bit more often, but other than that, man, nothing.
Move some of this around again now that everything moved.
Oh Lord.
I've been thinking about you. That's what I've been doing.
Think about what?
Yeah, you heard me.
Doge, simmer down. All right, myself, I don't know. I don't really have any. I don't even know why we did this topic because I don't have anything to talk about. Holidays. I mean, that's it. Got a console. We'll talk about that later. Finally back with the console brethren. I haven't played anything online yet. Bumbles knows. I've been talking to him about online a lot. All right, so then that'll segue right into what we've been doing gaming. What have you been playing lately, boys? We'll switch it back around. Puppy, I think I know the answer to this, but what have you been playing lately? What's kind of caught your attention over the last couple months? It doesn't really have to be the last week.
All right. I've been playing, obviously. Been playing the shit out of Neverwinter, obviously.
Yeah, clearly.
I threw in a little bit and played some Black Ops. I've been playing the newest Need for Speed. It's just called Need for Speed for, whatever fucking reason. Played some Minecraft.
Oh, that's right. How did that go? Did you do the big reveal?
I haven't done the reveal yet.
No,
We're still
They're
trying
not watching,
to.
Right? I can tell this chat what this is about.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
It's-
probably.
no,
What
they're
did you invited a bunch of people onto their Minecraft server and build a bunch
I got
of
a
stuff?
I got a bunch of 008 guys on,
That's
and we
cool.
basically loaded up my boys' Minecraft world, and we all just went ham overnight and spent like 2-3 hours just building them all sorts of crazy stuff. And then the plan is to, load it up and record their reactions to it and stuff, just to, kind of see what they think about it. Hopefully, it'll be good.
But they haven't seen it yet. That's pretty funny.
No, they haven't seen it yet. But honestly, that's because I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to record it. I mean, I've been trying to dodge them on, oh, Daddy, can we play Minecraft?
Right.
No, not right now. So, yeah, not yet. I haven't done it just because I haven't figured out how I'm going to record it yet. But yeah, other than that, I wanted to play some of the new free gold games that we got with the Xbox this month, but I haven't gotten around to it. So that's been me.
All right, Bumbles, what have you been up to?
Fallout, a lot of Fallout. Reinstalled Dying Light because there's an expansion coming out, so I wanted to kind of get familiar with the core of that game once again. The Minecraft that night with Puppy and I think it was more DT and Juan. Fun night, by the way, as well. A lot of fun to just get in and just have Minecraft time. And Puppy's Doge is just amusing the hell out of me right now.
Tell me more. Tell me more. He's very entertained by it.
And then I've been playing a lot of Black Ops 3, actually. So that was...
Oh, my condolences. I'm pressing F to pay respects right now.
Please do. But it's a shit ton better than Battlefront, so I'm not upset. That's really good.
You like that better than Battlefront? Oh, I guess we'll get
Fuck
that.
yes.
I haven't really played either to say. Darth, on the topic of Battlefront, what have you been playing lately? I've seen you've been raging about Battlefront, so...
Yep, I do that every day on Twitter. I play it. I've been playing Battlefront. I've been playing Battlefield 4. Try to get back into that over the winter break. And then I've also been playing a lot of City Skylines. Actually, I got back into that game in a major way.
About that, yep.
And those are the three games I can talk about that I've been playing. I played another game that I can't talk about because I'm under NDA. But
It's the
I'll talk
NDA
more about that
podcast,
game
boys.
later. Uh-huh.
Can't you mention the title, even if it's under NDA? Can't you just say, I am NDA'd for this?
Sometimes you're not even
Maybe I
allowed
could
to say
talk
you were in it.
obliquely about it. So if
Mass
you were
spec.
if you were to teleport to another planet in the solar system, that would probably be a precursor to this game, and is a very early first-person shooter that this game is a sequel to.
I'm down for that. Okay. I actually think I know. Maybe.
I think.
Maybe.
There was a movie made about this franchise once upon a time.
This is like video game
started with
charades.
Rock.
Like you guys
Doom.
talk about a game and the chat figures out what you're talking about. We can't, of course, confirm nor deny that, but... All right. So nobody's actually been playing... Well, you said you've been playing Battlefront, but aside from you guys, nobody's dabbled in that? It's kind of dead to us at this point? Mm-hmm. Darth, you done with it, or are you still going to soldier on a little bit? I'm just curious.
I play it every now and again because it takes like 15 minutes to get around in, but honestly,
that was pretty good.
Short of some kind of miracle for that game, I think it's had its lifespan.
How's the views on it? On
Well, so I specifically haven't been making videos for that game because of a couple of reasons. Number one, it's hard to come up with topics that are actually interesting for that game that people would need to know because it's such a simple game. And then number two, back when I was doing the beta coverage, I was so disappointed in the number of views that I was getting for those videos. And I was looking around at other people that had done, like larger channels, that had done beta videos, and they weren't getting the views on those. And it's clear that there really isn't any YouTube traffic for Battlefront or general interest for that game. And even just looking at the statistics for like how many people are playing that game,
no, the
it's
salt,
practically nobody.
and assault's real. Like people just like they love to hate it. So
oh yeah,
you
no,
get way more grief
people love
for
to
less
hate
views. Yeah. So that's it. You guys are covered. I guess it's my turn.
It is your turn.
I'm trying to think of what I was playing before Albion. I've just been playing that a lot. Back in MMO bugs, which is good or bad. I was playing City Skylines for a little bit. That was probably over the holidays. Got a console. Been playing that quite a bit. Been playing a lot of FIFA. If that's what I've been playing the most of. What else have we been playing? Skylanders and Disney Infinity with the kids. What else have we been playing? Thinking of getting Plants vs Zombies, but there's a new one coming out, right? So I'm gonna hold off on that.
Oh, it's fun. The new one.
What's that?
Yeah.
The new one's fun.
Yeah, there's like a beta out right now.
Beta just came out.
I think I'm gonna get that for my son to be. Battlefront was maybe gonna be his first shooter, but since it's not actually a shooter, I'm thinking about maybe Plants vs Zombies. Let him dabble in that a little bit. So I don't know. We're talking about. I was gonna do the Division, but we'll get to that in a minute because I won't be here for that goddamn beta. So that's about it. Been playing Albion Online, which is a small little MMO. If you guys watch my stream, you've seen me doing it. I've been hooked on that lately, but probably gonna hit the brakes on that a little bit in the future because it's gonna get a wipe. So I don't want to go too deep. Other than that, that's been it. I'm trying to think. There's a couple games coming up that I just got excited about today. Doge is sleeping now. Pup, is there a problem? Is Doge sleeping or are you sleeping? This is great for you. I didn't even know if you were still sitting there.
I'm realizing what I can get away with now. Like, I can totally just start looking away. Don't got to pay attention to nothing.
Doing whatever you want over there. Yeah, I bet one. I bet you're going to play it. I know. I hope you guys do. I hope everybody does play the hell of the Division because let's get into that. We're gonna get into, that's our first topic, so we'll get there. So yeah, like I'm talking about, I got a console. Anybody, Santa bring anything good for you guys, or good for your household? In Puppy's case, probably like me. Anybody get anything interesting? It doesn't necessarily have to be gaming. Like I said, I got an Xbox One, a couple games, got another thing we'll talk about a little later that was pretty cool. But anything of note, and then otherwise we'll move on.
I still have some other games that I picked up for Christmas that I haven't gotten to play yet personally, and I got the headphones that I'm using tonight. I got the new Assassin's Creed, which I've heard just wonderful things about. I don't know if Doge can properly convey the sarcasm there.
No, he's got the death rapist stare thing going on. It's kinda...
Oh no, did I lose him?
No, he's back now.
All right, I'll probably switch off from here after.
Yeah,
this.
You can do whatever you want.
But other than that, yeah, that's basically been it for me. The headset was the big ticket item for me this year.
That's right. Yeah, you're just saying how much you love it.
Yeah, it's totally awesome.
I got the.
I'll be back. You guys have fun.
I got the Xbox One Elite controller.
Oh, you did get that? How that?
I actually went on an adventure to get that. I went. Where is it? To Stamford, Connecticut, to get it because like it's a hot ticket item. Like Microsoft stores and GameStops only get like 1 or 2 in per shipment, and they're usually sold out the moment somebody sees it. So on a Saturday after work, I was at the mall and I saw like when the mall was closing, the Microsoft store had it. I'm like, you know what? Because out here it's closed on Sunday. So go, Stamford, Connecticut, because they have a couple in stock, and drove all the way there. And then my friend called me that same day I went out there. Oh, dude, we just got one in. There he is. Right as I pulled up for the GameStop, so I kind of felt like, just wasted, half a tank of gas, but hey. But I love it. It's definitely, I'm not going to say it's improved my game, because I just suck at shooters in general, but it's definitely changes the way I go about things. Like it has trigger catches, paddles, so I'm no longer using the face buttons to reload and duck and crouch. It's basically a glorified
it's like $150
controller.
Right?
Yeah, it's a glorified scuff controller with interchangeable parts that actually... I enjoy
it. They're already giving me shit. I just got back. Damn it.
I can't give you too much crap on $100. I mean, I have a $100 keyboard, probably another $100 mouse. So I mean, it's if that's what you're playing on, do what you like. I don't play it enough, otherwise I'd probably think about it. But I'm still getting used to the regular Xbox controller. Darth, anything of note?
Oh no, this was the.
You just moved,
Christmas.
Right? This is so.
I moved earlier this year, but we're saving up for some expensive garbage that's coming up here in about a month.
All right, like I said, I already told you. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything, but no, I don't think I am. We're going on a cruise, so that was kind of our gift to ourselves. So listen, we've hinted at it already. I'm actually going to move the topic up because it's more fun to talk about semi-good than just trash. Something we'll do that, but we don't have to lead off that, be the lead. But let's talk about the Division. I unfortunately am not going to get to play this beta. Do you guys know if you're in or out? I think we can talk about that, right? I mean, Bumbles, I know you're going to be. You have a code, Puppy. You have a code. The one upcoming.
I got one from
you were in before,
right?
So you
I was in the alpha, so I'm assuming I haven't gotten a code for the next one, but I'm just assuming since I was in the alpha, I'll be in the beta.
It should be next week when we get it, because it's going to be the 28th. It begins on Xbox One, so we should have it sometimes next week.
Yep, 28th, the day I leave. God damn it. But I don't know. We're gonna have to skirt it around. Don't talk about any specifics. Darth, I don't think. I'm guessing you didn't play, being a PC guy like me. Yeah. So
nope.
Puppy and Bumbles. Even if you don't want to talk about what you played, I know you guys have followed it a lot more than me. I haven't followed it. Like when it came out, I was super hype or the announcement, I should say. Then I kind of backstepped. I was like, no, I've seen this before. Don't break my heart. I'm going to just stop paying attention to you. When you come out, and I'll look at it then. And I felt kind of like, all right, this is just a total letdown being built here. And then, now I've kind of come back to it a little bit. And I think, Bumbles, you said it best in Discord. It's not the game we were sold initially, but it's not the game we feared 6 months ago either. So I almost feel like this is just a total new IP that popped up, and I'm looking at it now. It's not like the Division I thought we were going to get, but it still looks pretty cool. I'm pretty amped to play it with people. Just watching that gameplay that's come out, but we all know how that can go. But if you guys want to talk a little bit, just touch on it a little bit. Like, enjoyed it, didn't enjoy it. You don't have to talk about specific mechanics. We can go watch the Ronku guys to see that stuff. But I mean, are you up for it? You pumped for it? Because I'm just as a viewer, I'm definitely gonna get it on PC for sure. I might even pick it up on Xbox, just kind of play with you guys. It looks like a game would be fun, kind of like. I guess Destiny would be one. I didn't play that, but like Borderlands, where you like play with a group of people, you just run through some missions, kill some stuff. But to me, it's got a cooler like flavor to it. It's New York City, first of all, which is awesome, and then it's kind of modern shooter, which I know it's like what is the date on it? It's got to be mildly futuristic, right? Obviously.
2017.
That's it?
I think 2017 or yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Black Friday. Terrorists release a chemical
They were
agent.
selling a lot of cool tech on Black Friday, apparently, because I saw some crazy stuff.
Yeah, we have upgraded our tech hardcore.
Oh god, yes.
All right, so I don't know if one of you guys want to talk about it. What are your thoughts on the Division as we're looking at the beta starting next week?
I loved it, and that's a shock because I don't really like Ubisoft games. I find they're cut from the same cloth. They follow the same specific formula. And even Puppy was agreeing if he has to climb a radio tower just to unlock a portion of the map, he's just not going to be sold on it.
Yeah, I was ranting and raving on Twitter, and as I was downloading the game, I was like, man, all right, I'm pumped to get into this thing, but if I have to climb one fucking tower to reveal any bit of the map, that's it. I'm uninstalling, never playing, never gonna buy this shit. Just don't.
I haven't
seen
it yet, but yeah, that would be pretty funny.
But there was no tower. My personal thoughts on it, dude. The game. Okay, so obviously. It very clearly is not what we saw at E3. Like, there's just no hiding it. There's no way. I mean, you go around, you can look on YouTube. You got Level Cap and all the other guys who have thrown up videos that basically show exactly what I've played. The stuff that's in there, it's not what we saw, but at the same time, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking too.
My primary concern right now is the same concern I have with just about any kind of multiplayer game, and that's the longevity of it. How much of a lifespan is it going to have? Because in the little bit that we got to play, it was very segregated, like it was very truncated. For obvious reasons, they don't want you to go through and go ham and beat the whole game in a beta test.
Right.
And it's got a lot of PvE, player versus environment type scenarios. So, obviously they really don't want you to get too in depth with that stuff. They just want you to kind of get a taste for it, cut your teeth on it, make sure that it works. I think that was the big thing. I mean, the alpha test was really just, tell us what's wrong with our fucking game. Get one. But then the multiplayer, what was it called? The Dark Zone. The Dark Zone was a little hit or miss for me because there were times where I thought it was really cool, like the idea behind it was super cool.
Yeah.
And then there were times where it was just annoying, absolutely annoying, because like they have a leveling system in the Dark Zone that's separate from the rest of the game, and in this leveling system,
yeah, I saw that.
You have to kind of like kill people and do certain actions, complete missions or whatever in the Dark Zone to level up your Dark Zone level. However, if you go rogue, if you go rogue, but if you die, period, while you're in the Dark Zone, you'll lose your Dark Zone experience. Like, you'll go down in level, and it's possible to de-level all the way down to level 1.
See, I kind of like that.
Happened to you, I think, right, Bob?
So, like, it's kind of got some high stakes bit there.
Yeah, that's what I like.
I can understand that. Like, it's got the high stakes feel to it. But part of where I became frustrated is, like, in the beta alone, I probably sunk about 30 hours. And I hit a point where I got to, I think it was Dark Zone rank 17 or 18. And then every time I'd get up to 19, I'd die or somebody jump me and shoot me and take my shit. And I'd just go back down to 18. And then, then there'd be like a death streak because, when you respawn, you don't respawn necessarily in a safe area. you respawn in an area where you're alive, but it's like a little tiny room and you have to leave it. And in the beta, the way that it was set up is you couldn't leave into the safe area at specific spots of the map. Like you had to go through the PvP area to get out. So like you were just stuck, and like I would de-level like 3 or 4 different levels trying to get away from these people who were just harassing the shit out of me. And I was like, well, this is stupid.
Yeah, that's dumb.
You know?
I let's hope they fix that. I mean, that's.
I have a feeling they will. Part of why you couldn't leave.
It sounds almost temporary to me.
Well, part of why you couldn't leave in that particular area is because, like, during the alpha, what they had done is they put basically just giant red walls around a specific section of the map. Like, you have the open world map, and then these giant fucking red walls that you can walk through. But after you walk through it, you have 10 seconds to get back in. Otherwise, you just dead. And in the dark zone, like the whole thing's kind of gated off, and the when you respawn in the safe area, but like you'd be stuck because you're in the safe area and the only way to leave is to go through the red area. So I'm thinking, obviously once we get the full game, then hopefully there's not going to be no red fucking wall that serves no logical purpose. Why does that kill me? That sort of thing. To that end, it was okay. I'm excited though.
Are you going to pick it up? Let's let that say.
I will pick it up. I am excited for it. I will pick it up, which is more than I can say for, Hardline or Battlefront, which are our 2 most recent flops.
Yeah.
Battlefront supposedly, by estimation, sold 12 million units. So who knows if that's true or not?
By estimation.
Star Wars sold 12 million.
Sales does not equate to.
All right, hold your horses, gentlemen.
True.
Hold your horses.
The
Bumbles, what do you got?
The thing with Division for me was, like I said, it was not the game we were sold, and it was definitely at the same time not the game we were all fearing. I think there was this big, especially with me, because fucking Ubisoft, like I have this big fear that everything we see is going to be just like smoke and mirrors, and then we're going to get downgrades, we're going to get features taken, and we actually did. If anyone remembers back on that initial E3 reveal trailer, there's a 4th player that joins the 3-player team, and a drone. That was supposed to be the second screen app on your smartphone, on your tablet. And that had actually been fully built. So it was a full 3D isometric view of New York City in the Division in the game. And they scrapped that, actually. I think it was right before E3. They just were like made a very subtle announcement to Game Informer. Yeah, we scrapped that entire project.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that was a feature I was kind of looking forward to because, like, on my break at work, on downtime, I can, if I see Puppy, Juan, Aardvark playing it, and they got 4 slot, I can come with a drone, give them some buffs, rock some, bad guys, and then, be on my merry way. Dark Zone, to go with what Puppy said, the majority of what the beta was, it took place in Midtown Manhattan around Madison Square Garden, the postal office, and a little bit by, I think, Battery Park. And we were very limited to where we could go. And the Dark Zone, it flows well with the storyline. You go through a checkpoint, if you will, where you have to maintain a quarantine of the virus to make sure you're not sick. When you enter the Dark Zone, you throw on a gas mask, and I think filters will play a factor in the main game. So I remember actually I picked up quite a few filters. And it would be ensure that you can breathe in certain contamination zones, which has actually crates of loot, both cosmetic and gear-wise. With Dark Zone, my biggest issue was not just the PvP elements that Puppy described, like the safe house. When you spawn there are multiple entry and exit points to the safe house. You can go through the front door, the back alley, the side scaffolding. Problem was, if people were rogue, they could just sit outside and camp and wait for your body to appear, and you'd get shot up, and before you even take control of your character outside, you're already dead.
So there's no invulnerable for third. I guess
there
it
was
matter,
no
but
vulnerability.
See that seems like the stuff that betas are for, alphas are for. That kind of those things. I mean, but those are classic mechanics. You think they would have seen? I don't know. That stuff's easily fixable. Maybe not even in a good way, but you can kind of fuss that off and kind of fix it sloppily.
To that point, the bigger issue I had was actually the gear in Dark Zone. I might, be in the minority on this, but the way that it's done is that if you get to carry, I think it was 6 items, Pup, in the Dark Zone, whether it be cosmetic or gear-wise. I think if you get only 6 slots for gear.
Well, six pieces of gear that you're trying to get out.
Yeah, whether it be a gun, a cosmetic item,
and it goes on outside
attachment.
your person, right?
Yeah, it hangs out on the back of your back of your pack, and like it has like the biohazard symbol. And again, in the initial reveal trailer, if you remember, there's a shot where they shoot off a flare, and then another group of players comes and ambushes them. It's basically everything we saw in that initial trailer is what the game consists in the game, but it's also like spread out more. So in the Dark Zone, this is what will occur. You'll run into other players, and I don't like the fact that there's, when you shoot off a flare, I get that there's like a signal sent to the players in the immediate area saying, oh, hey, an extraction is coming.
Free
it's
loot.
60-second extraction. Yeah, it's the 60-second extraction until the chopper arrives.
You might as well ring a dinner bell.
Yeah, and then it's 30 seconds
That's probably what it
until...
is.
And then it's 30. Once the chopper arrives, you have 30 seconds to hook your gear on the rope. And once it's hooked, even if you do die, it's yours. It gets sent to your your base of operations, rather.
Yeah, the big thing is just getting it on the hook.
Yeah.
Who cares if
it's
you
a
get out,
mad
right?
dash. It's a mad dash, one at a time. Not everyone can do it. And there was actually a night me and Puppy were playing.
It's gotta be so stressful.
You can have more than one person get up there. Like you can have.
Can
like
you hook it? So if we were to hook it at the same time,
you can have 6 or 7 people hooking it on the same time. What
And
ends
then
up
nobody's
happening
defending.
though, because I played it a lot. What ends up happening is you'll have groups of people who end up working together, where they'll watch where somebody throws the flare or where they shoot the flare off, and they'll take remote detonated mines, and they'll just shoot a bunch of them all around where you set your stuff on. And as soon as you walk up there to put it on there, obviously they just flick the switch and you're dead.
It's like C4 in the objective, basically.
And
if you try and shoot through explosive, then you're targeted as rogue and they can kill you and take your stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, what the hell am I supposed to do?
Yeah, those are bad mechanics. They're gonna have to figure that out.
There was a night where Puppy
that kind of stuff to me seems more like more
griefing.
Well, I'd
That's
say
an oversight.
it's more minor mechanics. Like, I would imagine that kind of stuff's going to get worked out before full release. I don't consider
would
that
too.
to be something.
I think the biggest worry, just even as a viewer observer, is like you said, the long term, the content. Like,
the long term.
Because here's my thing. Like I'm saying, I'm gonna buy it on PC. Maybe Darth will play together. A couple, PC guys. I'll play it. I'll enjoy it. But maybe I want to. I've been looking for a game to play with you guys on the Xbox One. So I can see like a week later. I'm like, all right, guys, I'll get on this Friday. We'll play. And I can see you guys. Like, well, I don't. We kind of beat it. We kind of, like. What are we? How you gonna re-roll? How you gonna go through it? What's the long term?
Well, you can have multiple characters. As you can actually see in the beta, in alpha rather, I think it was, you could actually make multiple characters. Me and Juan went through the story mission once. We only had one story mission in the alpha, and me and Juan went through it twice, and we did it on the harder difficulty. And it's not one of those, here's a harder difficulty, now you have better guns. No, it's a harder difficulty where you're facing like elite enemies the whole time.
Now, when they make it harder, though, do they throw more? Do they just throw more mobs at you, or do they just up their damage, or do they actually have better AI?
It's the same amount of mob. It's just better AI, better reaction, better accuracy, higher damage against you, and more health.
And then, obviously, I don't know if you guys can even speak to this because you were in a beta, but like, how much is there outside of the story mode, or do we think even? Because I doubt beta had that, but like, because I get bored with killing AI.
The base of operations will be your biggest,
and that's an instance, right?
No, it's so breaking NDA like a motherfucker here.
Yeah, you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. I'm just thinking out loud.
Fuck the French. I don't care. I hope no one's French here. Love you. Anyway, so the way that like the base of operations, so outside of Madison Square Garden in real life, there's a huge post office.
Yeah, it's post office.
You can Google it, and it's right there, and that's actually a base of operations. You have to fight for control, but they actually showed that at the E3 trailer 2 years ago when you see them setting up turrets and fighting up these staircases. That's the base
really
of operations.
All we've seen is around there for the most part.
Once you get inside of the base of operations, so when me and Puppy and Juan are playing, when we go inside of it, we load into our own base of operations, and nobody knew why that was. It's instance per each player because the way I set up my base of operations and the order I do things will greatly differ from Pup's. So in this beta, we were tasked with getting the medical wing online and then setting up a clinic to help those who are injured civilians, sick soldiers. You got to go out and gather resources, and I guess you can say delves kind of, and you get the resources per, electronics, tech, medical, what have you. You bring them back and you spend them to expand on a wing how you see fit.
That's the RPG element, or
that's the RPG element. The stats and skills, I think, skills, not stats, will also be the big draw for people, where you can switch on the fly still. So the 3 we were given access to were sticky grenades, like Puppy mentioned, health, a medic class kind of, and then a defender class. Medic class had this gun that you can either heal yourself with.
You shot health at people.
Yeah, you shot green digitized squares at people and it healed them miraculously. Yeah.
Placeholder effect, I hope?
No, it's not.
No, I think it was supposed to be like representative of like some nanobots or some shit. Like, they're healing you, but at the same time, you know,
2017
like particly and,
right.
and I don't know. It was a little gimmicky, but
and then you had the defender, which is like a shield on your arm. You just it was like Advanced Warfare. You had a shield, boom, protect yourself from bullets. But you can switch up, and like each class you can upgrade, so you can really take multiple paths. In essence, there
you can
is
change on
no
the fly,
reason.
so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and in essence, there's no reason to have a secondary character unless you want to experience the story or what there is of a story again.
Right.
The big thing for me again is longevity, but one thing that we don't always give Destiny credit for a lot of things. It's not the greatest game in the world. It's not the worst game. It's not the best. Whatever. One thing that they did right, Bungie, was they had the best gear originally drop in the raid. And then they realized we have people who only want to play PvP, people want to avoid PvE. So what they do, they go and they start making the Iron Banner gear equivalent to the raid gear. So you have PvE high end, end game gear, PvP end game gear. And with Division, they're putting all the best gear in the Dark Zone. So you have to not only go into an area that has higher difficulty with PvE, but also run the risk of getting killed by griefing assholes when you're trying to take it. And
but how much griefing can they do in there? It's open PvP, so it's all fair game for the most part. I mean, obviously the bombs on the helicopter, that's dumb.
I also think that the best gear is kind of a relative term there.
Best.
Like they have vendors set up that they have the same color tiering system that you see in other games, where like you have white as your baseline, green is kind of all right, blue is good, and purple, fucking purple.
I know. I watched the YouTubers YouTubers are all equipped with all purple gear, and they're telling us about the difficulty of the game. I'm like, so you had the devs outfit you in all epic stuff, and then you went and played the game, and you're trying to tell us how the game plays. I'm like,
when you roll in epics, you just face roll. It's weird.
Well,
especially playing on easy difficulty.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, well, really? Okay.
But like, in my time playing, I did get a purple from the Dark Zone, and I also got a purple that was from PvE content. And comparing the two to each other, they were the same. They were literally the same. So I think basically what they were trying to hint at is it's just easier to obtain purple gear from the Dark Zone, because
more likely the probability is higher. Probably, yeah.
Well, the purple gear in the Dark Zone is just like candy, everywhere, and literally.
That could also be a beta thing.
Yeah, it might be a beta thing. But the purple gear that I saw in the PvE area was literally the only one that I saw, and when I saw it, it was just like, the holy goat.
I mean, I'm excited for it. I don't know if I did it with you, Pup. I think I might have done it with Juan, where we had to go into a sewer system and turn on a water filtration system. I don't remember if I did that with you. I'm sure you did it, though, at one point. And it was like a mini delve. You go down there, you got some waves of enemies. So it's got the RPG and MMO elements, so it's rather amusing that they're avoiding calling it MMO. At the same time, you never really see other players outside of your group in the world either, which is a little disheartening, because one of the first games me and Puppy played together was Defiance, and that game, as flawed as it was a ton of fun, and it was just always just awesome just seeing, all these people in Dodge Challengers rolling through the map, and then, they're doing their own thing, you're doing your own thing. Whereas in the Division, it's like you're supposed to be part of an elite group of agents activated after a pandemic begins, and there's only one of you if you're playing alone. There's only two of you if you're playing with just one friend, and it's just kind of breaks the immersion, I guess. But I don't think that's really the biggest issue. That's obviously not the biggest issue of the game whatsoever.
I think the world is gonna have to be huge. I mean, just to keep people going. Like
it is.
But it's what, Brooklyn, Manhattan.
Well,
it's not that big.
But even for the area that we were given, it was mainly Midtown. But like they had a lot of elements. There was a bunch of alleys, bunch of rooftops, bunch of little stores.
Yeah, I guess you could turn each building into its own. Yeah.
They had the High Line in there, which
just to keep you adventuring. Nice. Like 3 weeks in, we haven't been to Coney Island yet. Let's go there. You know, that kind of stuff. I don't know.
There's also a nice little system, the lockpick system, where if you find a lockpick out in the world, there are doors that contain rare loot drops, whether it's blue or better. And these rooms are located within missions. So there's actually, in the mission we were given, there's an area where you can go into a checkpoint zone and you can get a blue gun out of it.
I'm pretty sure lockpicks are more rare
yes.
than purples, by the way.
I would agree. Because there are also contaminated areas that you go into.
So use a rare lockpick to get a blue item.
Yeah,
that doesn't really make sense.
But it's nice because there's a lot to do. Like you can go and do I want to go clear this area out? Do I want to go? There's a contaminated like apartment block. Do I want to go in there?
What's the group? What's the max group size?
4, I want to say. That's what it was with the drone. But
with the PvE content, it was 4.
Okay.
However, I feel like if you want to just get a bunch of guys together in the dark zone to roll deep,
you don't even have to.
You just break into groups of 4, but you can all meet together and roll.
And be on voice comms, so it's fine. Yeah, as long as you have comms.
Yeah.
Yes.
And all right, so give me a ballpark. Like, how long do you see yourself? If this game is as good as it looks, like let's just assume it's really good. How much content do you think is there? Is this a month game? Is this a 6-month game? Is this a 2 weeks game? You know, that kind
of
thing.
Hard to tell.
Broad strokes. I mean,
I'd put this one probably in the 6 to 9 month range.
You think so? All right, that's fair for me for the price. I mean, that's plenty. Yeah. I mean,
like grinding out everything, I would agree with Pup because you can get, for example, a chest harness that is like ranked 22, it's green. Then you get another chest harness that's ranked 22 and green as well, but one of them might have a perk on it, like extra, larger magazine size, quicker healing, less
run faster.
Right, that fits what you're trying to do better.
And then you have the weapon modding system, which I think is actually a little vague in its approach, where like if you get a holographic sight, you need to have a sight, like if you have a Scar H, you need to have a proper optic for it. You have to have a small optic or a large optic, and it doesn't tell you that you can equip it. So you pick up a red dot sight, you go to put it on your gun because you want a sight. Oh, it doesn't fit on this gun. But it's also being able to equip and modify your gun to suit your play style. So you can put like a sniper scope on a M16 should you so choose. And then there's also an in-game crafting system which we have not had access to yet, nor do I think that we've actually seen it on YouTube, where apparently you can take a gun and it's like supposedly like the gunsmith from the last Ghost Recon game, where you can basically modify it to be your personally made firearm. And with all that in mind, I'd agree with Pup. It's definitely maybe like half a year without question. And then you got to also wonder, because Ubisoft and their season passes, what are they going to hide behind that $40 paywall?
Oh, they see this as their division for sure.
Oh,
but
fuck yeah.
So Pup, you already said it. Bumbles, you're obviously going to buy it.
I'm buying it. At the moment, because I really do enjoy it, and I know a lot of people who are going to be getting it. So right now, the biggest question is, am I going to get the regular edition, or am I going to go throw the fucking $100 at it off the bat and get the gold edition?
That's a purchase then.
And I hate money.
You're debating between money and more money.
So.
Darth, where do you stand as just a casual? You looking at this one at all, or are you kind of?
So I've seen a couple of videos about this one.
So me and you are on the other side of the fence.
It's really going to take some pre-launch hype to get me paying attention to this one more, because it's something I've just sort of been lightly paying attention to, not a whole lot.
Yeah, what are we? It's mid-March, right? Is the actual release March 16th?
Oh yeah, like mid-March.
So yeah. I mean, I think obviously you see just the YouTubers now are just ramping up. The beta's coming next week, so you're gonna see a big bump in hype, and then it'll probably go quiet again a little bit, and then the machine will start rolling again in early March.
What Ubisoft is doing this time around is what I was hoping they would do, and they didn't go all Watch Dogs marketing with this, where It's like the forefront of next gen gaming. It's got cutting edge technology and building it up to be this game that is the furthest thing from the truth, kind of like Battlefront.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was high on this game when it first came out. Was that 2 years ago now? It wasn't 3, right? It was 2?
3. No, it was 3. 2013.
Was it really? Oh my god!
First announced.
That's crazy. Like, I feel like that was no time because I remember then being like, this game is not anyway. But anyway, then they started backpedaling and they kind of was like, we just wanted to build an enormous amount of hype up there and promise everything. And then we figured we'd apologize. It's like the better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. It's like we're just gonna promise the world. And then we're going to get, apologize later and we'll ship a decent game. Now I'm starting to ramp up again. Like, this is not what I thought I'd want, but it looks like it could be fun. And certain people I didn't think to be high on it are kind of high on it. So, not necessarily high, but just like, yeah, it's a different game, but it's cool. So I'm looking forward to getting it. I'm like, right now, I'm like, I could see myself buying it twice, buying a PC and Xbox. So I really wish I was playing in the beta because I think that would go a long way. But there's enough people, like Juan was saying, that are going to play the hell out of it. And you can broadcast this, right? Beta?
I believe this time you can.
Can I broadcast the beta? If I can, then I will.
Yeah, because we still have a lot of content from people I trust to go and look at it, and just raw gameplay I'd rather watch than some people's reviews. But I don't know. I'm getting higher on it. I mean, I kind of wish it was out sooner, 2 or 3 months. But
again, I'm just gonna throw this out there one more time, and this is. Take it how you will, but this is the best way to look at it, especially if you're somebody who's been looking forward to this game since it was revealed. Not the game we were sold, but it's also not the game you were fearing. And that's, take that as you will.
Well, that's what I find interesting is Puppy kind of got burned on Destiny. I know they had a bad relationship there, but again, this is same vein type of game. Maybe it's not playing it, but it looks like it. And yet he's willing to kind of double dip, go back into that kind of game because this one's just different enough. So that kind of interests me that you're willing to do that. Hope's gut feeling on this. Do we think this is going to be... let's compare it to Destiny. You think it's going to arc like Destiny, or you think it's just going to kind of be more like a Battlefront, kind of burn fast, die out? What do we think here? I guess, Darth, we can't really talk to this, but what do you guys think? Puppy's saying 6 to 9 months, so I mean, I think that's pretty... I think that's a successful game right there.
I like I said, I think it'll be successful. I don't think we're going to experience like next gen levels of success. Like it's not going to be anything that rocks the boat in such a way to where your mind is just absolutely blown. But I think it'll still be successful. And I think for an Ubisoft game, this is going to be the bee's knees.
And we know they'll bring iteration after iteration after iteration because that's what Ubisoft does. They just
they won't even greenlight a game.
Maybe they'll go a little differently here with just like content a la Destiny. I don't know if they'll go with
Destiny. Now you get to climb towers.
Well, Destiny 2 will be put out a month after Destiny 1.
Well, it's also
Division.
What was it with Division? With Division, though, it's also the question like how much is going to be within the season pass for me. Like,
I don't care if it's a good game. I don't care. Like if you're going to keep bringing me content, I'll pay for it.
If you're going to keep bringing me content, I'll pay for it. But it's also like with how they handled the Rainbow Six season pass, I'm kind of like $40 for free content a month early. I don't care. And also with how they've been handling Siege, I actually enjoy the way that they've actually been working on the balancing of that game consistently. Like they're actually tweaking it. So if I've
heard good things. I haven't bought it yet, but
with the Division, if they can actually go ahead and keep this game maintain and balance things, unlike what Destiny is doing, where Destiny is kind of just saying we're balancing things and they really don't. Right. This game will have longevity. The biggest issue I think right now is what they're actually addressing is that people forgot about this game. It's kind of like No Man's Sky.
2 years after it was announced, they forgot about it. That'll happen.
Well, no, but it's like they keep bringing it out once a year. And it's kind of like the same with No Man's Sky. We're just going to keep showing the same thing over and over. And then when we get closer to the release date, hey, we're going to throw everything at you and you're going to decide on this. That's, I think, the way that they should go.
So, I mean, I'm pretty hyped. Like I said, I wish I could do the beta. I'm going to miss it, but I'm going to watch a lot of footage and we'll probably do a podcast afterwards, especially if there's no NDA. But yeah, I'm way more interested than I was 2 weeks ago. I was kind of like bitter about it almost. So it's kind of like, all right, good on you. Whether this is just good PR or a good game, I don't know. They're subtly doing it. They're not so onslaughting you with hype this time, which is weird. 2 years ago, they were just in your faces, just slapping you with their dick. Now they're just like, trying to put gameplay out there and let you see what it is. So I don't know. It's interesting. So we'll see what happens. But let's move on from that because it's already been an hour in. I know that was the beef. That's by far. I put out on Twitter like, "What do you guys want us to talk about?" And that was by far the biggest one I got back, which understandable. Just so you know, the alpha starts January 28th on Xbox One, January 29th on the PC and PS4, and ends on the 31st. Which is that? It's like a
3
Thursday
days.
to Monday, something like that, right? Isn't that how it runs over a weekend?
It's a 3-day thing, same as they did with the alpha. So
Yeah. So, if you haven't signed up for that, I don't have a URL for you, but if you're interested, get in there. It's going to be starting.
Yeah, I'll put the URL in there.
But I know a lot of people are like pre-ordering on Amazon, getting the beta code, and then going to cancel the pre-orders. I'm not condoning that, but if hey, developers take advantage of those types of mechanics all the time. If a customer can for once, let's do it. But let's move on to something a little different again. I'm gonna bump Battlefront, keep bumping it down because I don't want to get the negative vibe until the end of the cast when we're drunk. Bubba, your dog just freaked me out. By the way, my dog was jumping on my couch right here next to me, and I'm looking at your webcam and seeing a dog that's not mine. I'm like, what? I'm thinking it's like because I'm so used to streaming and then looking at my stream, so I'm like looking at yours like that's my couch. And I'm like, that's not my dog. Like, what the fuck? So I don't know if you guys saw me look over here. I was like, what the hell? I have like little pugs, and you have like a big dog. It's just something I was freaking out for a second, and I'm not drunk. All right, let's talk about the Oculus Rift. We'll kind of lump everything in together here because there's different avenues we can go here. Just announced, right? $600 price point. So,
$600.
Darth, you have one Amazon Prime, right? It's coming.
No, I do not. I have so I know a number of guys that I work with that are like, $600. I can't believe it. I'm buying one anyways, which is pretty much I think
it's been all industry people.
In general.
Yeah,
like people who were excited about the Oculus Rift to begin with, they're probably going to buy one no matter what cost.
It's like us with Battlefield, Battlefield 5, Battlefield 6, Battlefield 7. We're all going to be like, we're going to buy it.
It looks like shit. It looks like shit. Take my fucking money.
All right, so let's just start. Did anybody pre-order this thing? If you did, I have a GoFundMe page. I have a Patreon. You obviously don't care about money.
I hate money, but I don't hate it.
$600. Now here's the thing. I don't know. Like I have a pretty beastly PC, but not a lot of people you got to match that with upgrades, probably, right? Like I mean, have they put out specs for this yet? I just have in my head what I imagine it would take to run it for reals. But I mean, just get the hardware. You're talking $600. There's no killer app yet.
I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but personally, I am waiting for the combo deal.
There we go, Fleshlight, folks.
We
need the trademark.
Fleshlight.
All right, well, let's just do this then. Did you guys see the conversation that Bumbles and I were having? About a week ago? And Fleshlight came into the conversation. Was like, "This is a great idea." They just started retweeting everything. I was like, "Oh goodness gracious!" I forget what it was even about.
Here, I said something about.
Oh right, it was an interactive Tomb Raider or something, wasn't it?
Here I was like, hold on, let me find it here. You said, I won't be buying an Oculus Rift until it ships with Jessica Rabbit interactive game. Can't put a price on fulfilling life goals. And then I replied, I won't be supporting Oculus Rift until we get a partnership by them and a Fleshlight and Real Doll partnership for our idea that we've had a billion times. You then responded, Oculus Fleshlight Lara Croft bundle. Fucking favorited by them, retweeted by them. I mean,
that was funny. I just laughed out loud by that. I was like, "Oh, that's like the cherry on top." We've been talking about this for at least a year, maybe 2 years.
2 years.
That's what I'm
saying.
That
was 2 years. That was like 3 podcasts ago, right? Probably.
Want residuals, please?
Yeah. All right. So, all right. Well, I mean, that joke's. I mean, I love the joke. It's still getting old.
Oh hell no, never.
All right. So, is this thing going to become mainstream? Darth, you kind of touched on it. I know you're in the industry. If anyone doesn't know, I'm just going to say you're in the game dev industry. I think it's savvy by these guys. I almost guarantee you they put out a limited number to start because they had to say it sold out. They had to. Like if they're like sold out, we only sold 74 units. But of course they're going to limit production.
They're all gone.
You can't say we didn't sell out. You can't do that. So don't buy into that. That's marketing set. There's a couple truckloads in a warehouse somewhere that nobody knows about. But is this industry peeps? Is this YouTubers? Is this all these? Is this actually going to be bought by Joe Gamer? That's my thing. I don't understand that. They want to buy it. We all want to buy it, but $600.
I think until it gives me for me as a power gamer, until it actually gives me a tangible benefit in a game as opposed to just being a gimmick, I'm not going to be investing in this.
So you're waiting for porn, okay? Bumbles.
Yep.
Do any of you own a 3D TV?
No, or curved TV, or
Yeah, you know why? It's fucking stupid.
Well, seriously,
It's a gimmick. It's an extra cost that really, at the end of the day, only equates to you spending more money on the lost words.
I agree and disagree because I don't think VRs are a gimmick necessarily. I think now it's just
How
not.
many times have we seen 3D go in and out? And yeah, we're throwing every fucking movie in 3D: Mad Max, Revenant, Martian, Star Wars. Not everything needs to be made 3D. You can enjoy Star Wars in 2D. I mean, we did in the 70s. You have. I just don't see it as something that's going to survive as much.
We did in the 70s. What the?
Yes, it was 2D.
You weren't alive in the 70s.
I was not even swimming in a man's testes in the 70s.
He's a historian.
I might have been the gleam in my father's eye in the 70s.
There you go. The point of the matter is, though, it's a gimmick. I mean, they were even pushing it as a gimmick to begin with. What was the big thing they showed at E3 that year? Alien Isolation. Use Alien Isolation, first-person survival horror, shit jumps out at you, kills you, makes you shit your pants game. Yeah. Cool. I just don't see $600, number one. I don't see that being anywhere near worthy of this product without a killer app and a proven fact of it not being just a gimmick. That's what it is to me. It's a gimmick. It's like the 3D TVs. That's what I can.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I think the first iteration are kind of gimmicky, but I don't think VR in and of itself is necessarily a gimmick. It's just going to need a lot more tech to get there, to be mainstream, to be cheap enough to be mainstream.
I think the first person that makes the Model T of this kind of thing is going to be the breakthrough. Yeah. Like whoever makes it
for the everyman,
affordable for the everyman, and of a quality that is substantial enough to.
Well, that's what, and that's what Polly is hitting on in the chat. It's not going to catch on until A is decent price point and a killer app. But it's kind of like the chicken or the egg. Like, who is going to design a game for this unit that's only sold 2,000 units? Who's gonna? You need units out there, or you need someone to design a game to push the units.
Well,
which is going to do it?
Down to developers saying, okay, how many people have this? Do surveys, that kind of stuff. You can find out.
Oh, you'll know quickly
from Steam
enough,
surveys, etc. And them saying, is it worth our multi-million-dollar development budget to spend time actually, catering to this crowd? And while it's interesting and gimmicky, is it going to move units of our game?
Well, it's going to have to come from Amazon or one of the other bigger companies. It's going to go exclusive game. The next game
really
of this.
Smart, yeah. What would be really smart for somebody to do is a developer like Oculus Rift to fund development of stuff for their product to say, hey, look, this is the kind of stuff you can do, and we have unique and original things that you can't get in any other experience.
That's the only way I could see it going. Like, it's going to have to be, funded by big, Amazon or whatever the other. I don't even know the other companies making the units, but I don't see an average developer is going to go, all right, we're going to design our game for 2 years, maybe more, because the development cycle is not as ironed out for these. It obviously takes a lot more, 4 years, for this thing, and hope that it gets enough units to make some money. It's just not going to work. And I don't see this thing selling enough units without that game that you're just like, yeah, like it's got to have it. Again, could go back and make the joke about porn or other third usage aside from gaming, but that could obviously help. And I think Amazon has that in mind, or not. Their idea was it Amazon? No, Amazon. It's Facebook that got. Who got Apple?
Facebook owns it.
Right.
Facebook, yeah.
Amazon got Twitch. Facebook, obviously, they have other ideas in mind for this. So maybe, just the tech is going to drive other businesses for them. So, it's hard to kind of really judge it. But I don't know. Like, I don't see this immediately. People are like, it's almost like gaming hipsters. They're like hailing this as the new generation. I'm like, nah. Like, it's just, I'm not buying the first iteration of this at all. Even if it was cheap, I don't think I would, because it's like, what are you going to do with it? Minecraft? Like you're going to play the same games we've been playing? Cool as hell. Don't get me wrong. It's just, if someone wants to send me a copy, I'll play the hell out of it.
The trend is that this inevitably will probably take over. This is not the iteration that's going to happen with.
No, and that's fine as long as that's the aim and that's what everybody's talking about. But you hear this and it's just like, oh my god, I'm buying this. They're sold out. It's like, come on. Like,
I remember this past E3, Microsoft showed off, what was it? Not the Glass, I think, their little augmented reality headset thing. And they showed it off with Minecraft, and that was actually one of the coolest displays at E3, where they're building a Minecraft world like on a table right in front of them.
The hologram thing.
Yeah, that was amazing. And the thing I like about that more than I like the Oculus is that is being designed with more than just gaming in mind. Presentations, doing things on the go, like
CAD
you're walking
drawings
around
and
in
stuff
your Yeah, freaking you want to see a GIF of Grumpy Cat? Go ahead, do that while you have your spreadsheet up here. I like that more as an idea. Like your dog likes your chair a little bit more. Things.
Oh, you're looking at me over the corner. Yeah,
that's
what I'm saying there.
And it's augmented reality thing to me seems like it's going to be a lot more successful than the virtual reality.
Well, think about it. You can play it as a group, right? Like,
yeah,
I could sit with my kids on this table, and we, I don't know, or they could just watch. It would be really cool. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I was like a big skeptic on this, and I'll get into just kind of as a little bit of tangent. I was a big, VR. I'm not huge on it. Like I'm older, so we've been hearing that. Bumbles, you touching this. We've been hearing the song and dance for a long time now. Holograms, 3D, all this, and it's just never panned out.
Virtual Boy.
The text just never been there.
That's what I'm saying. It's been there for a while.
Now the tech is actually starting to get there. Now it's just too pricey. So I was messing around with Google Cardboard the other day. Have you guys played with this at all?
I've seen it. It's pretty cool.
I got some for my kids for Christmas. Somebody got it. It's a ViewMaster. You remember the old ViewMasters? You put the circular disc in and you click and it's pictures. Charles, I mean, maybe you're of the right age.
Oh yeah, no, I totally remember.
It's the same. It's the same company. They're just doing these. It's a Google Cardboard headset, basically what it is, and they sell their own bloated software for ridiculous prices. So I didn't buy their software. I just went and got the Google Cardboard. It's your phone. You mount your phone in a headpiece. It was fun. We had a blast all day. And my boys were like, whoa. And like we were on like the Acropolis and he's on the edge of the wall. Of course, Dad walks up, push him from behind. He freaks out because he thought he was going to fall 50 foot to his death. It was great. It was one of my favorite moments in gaming and fatherhood, mind you. But like that, when I did that though, like I kind of felt bad for a second. But I was like, that right there shows you the potential. Like this is a stupid little $20 headset with an iPhone in it. And he's like teetering on the edge of the wall, and I just pushed him about a half inch, and he freaked out. He thought he was gonna fall. So I was like, "There's a potential here." Like, Sully, how you doing? I saw your comment. The tech has a lot of potential, and I'm excited by that now. But like that, I think is going to be more of grabbing a hold of people. This $20 disposable stuff that might not be as like top of the line experience as say this whole Oculus on a treadmill with USB. Like. These little cheap, dirty, quick little experiences that maybe mainstream. Maybe this is what Facebook has in mind, where they're going to take you to the Met or they're going to take you to the Louvre through these little cheap headsets, and they're going to let you walk through and they'll make money somehow. Or a zoo is going to charge you a $5 admission with a 3D cheap headset to go. That might be the business side that's going to finance some of these things, but the tech is like got huge potential. I don't think anybody debates that. It's just when the price point gets to be where it is. But it's like all we heard about. What was like $200, $300 was supposed to be the price point, and obviously they said something about once.
Everybody's assuming $300 because that's what the price point of the dev kits had been.
Yeah, but they said once Facebook bought them, they had this opportunity to upgrade the screens. I think. I guess now they had. So that's where
they definitely did that.
Yeah, because I think it was the sickness. People were getting sick and stuff. So I think it was warranted. I'm not saying like I don't think they just did it for profit. I think. There's an upgrade in tech there, but they've obviously priced themselves. I think it's going to be industry people. It's going to be reviewers. It's going to be, I just don't see average people buying this for sure. And I'm just more thinking like, do I see them buying iteration 2 or even 3? Like, how long till this gets cheap enough where I'm putting it under the tree for my kids? You
bring me the holodeck. You give whatever price point you want. I will buy the holodeck. I'm not buying a headset that is going to be giving me headaches, worsening my vision, and just has no real immersion outside of, I'm on a ledge. Like, I get where the kids factor comes in, culprit. For me, it's like, I don't see myself getting that into it where, I'm on a cliff and my friend just pushed me. It's like, I'm aware this is virtual reality. It's not real.
Sure. Yeah. This is the mind of a 7-year-old.
the first revision of the Oculus Rift and then the second revision of the Oculus Rift. The second one's really
humble
good.
Humble brag.
And when I was playing Alien Isolation, the fact that I was like, no, fuck this, take my life, kill me already, I'm done with this. I think there's an interesting immersion factor that you really can't get out of the distance that you get from you and the way you play games right now, which is why I think once the technology matures enough, we'll actually get what we want out of this. But for now, the price point is going to be a huge thing to overcome for a lot of people, and just becoming sort of diffused technology is going to have to happen before we sort of get that fusion of killer apps and the ecosystem in which they live.
Now, does anybody know the other competitors? I can't even think what they are.
Morpheus from Sony.
Like, what are their price points? I mean, are they going to be competitive, or is somebody going for like $100 unit, or is it
Sony has not revealed the price point of the Morpheus yet, but honestly, I could see them doing what they've done for years, which is now that the price point for the Rift has been announced, just undercut the fuck out of it, and then take the loss and go into bankruptcy and beg for more money from the government.
See, I don't know. I'm laughing at chat because they're making fun of your holodeck comment, but I mean, I'm with the holodeck thing. I'd buy that.
Seriously, bring me that.
I'm telling you, I'm playing FIFA like crazy. Can you imagine FIFA or one of those games on a holodeck 3D? You just sit there and play. Minecraft, obviously, they demoed. Like, there's definitely potential everywhere, but
I don't know if you guys remember with Battlefield 3, there was this thing where they took a 360 screen, put it around a player who was using an airsoft gun as a controller for the game, and they were on like a treadmill, and when they got shot, they were through the campaign after the multiplayer, when they got shot, a paintball would shoot at them.
What? Where is? I did not see this at all.
Yeah, this was. It was.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
And that you bring me something like that, I'll think about throwing some money at it. I mean, but
that was like about as gimmick as it gets, though.
Yeah.
Like they had that whole thing was set up with the surround screens, and the thing would shoot paintballs at you, and it had like rollers because it had you standing up, and you would walk on the rollers, and it would hold you in place and shit. And yeah, that was about as gimmick as you.
I mean, we're a decade from that at least. I mean, I just don't see it.
I just don't see personally for me, and I just don't see VR staying. I don't. I mean, you're going to see other people coming out with these. I mean, you have Sony and all that, but I don't see it.
I genuinely think eventually, I'm kind of in the same boat with you, Cole, but I think eventually it will become mainstream.
Yeah, I don't see it not becoming mainstream.
Look at the history of virtual or VR tech. Like I mentioned, as kind of a jest, but I mean, look back at Virtual Boy. You remember that shit? You look in there and it's just red lines and shit. Sure, it was kind of 3D. But I mean, look at where we've come since then. And you can only guess where we're going with it. And I imagine eventually it's going to hit a point where it's worth.
In that respect, it could be like 3D in the sense that we go through cycles where it has sort of this peak of interest and people are like, well, that's great, but it's still kind of shitty, and so it goes away for another 10 years, and then it comes
the
back
novelty of the newness.
That's amazing.
It's basically just new, so people are hype on it, and then they're like, it's like so it takes one person to kind of cut through the bullshit, like the King's New Clothes or whatever, where you're like, it's really not that good, guys. Like, you're all going crazy about something, but it's not that good, and then everybody else is like, yeah, it's kind of not. So, I mean, I was having a discussion about, I don't know, I guess maybe this will be a segue, about the new Star Wars movie. Everybody's big on it. We're not going to go spoilers, so just that. But everybody's huge on it, and I'm just sitting here like, I have my own opinions, but somebody's like, yeah, we all said that about the prequels too, until about 3 or 4 weeks later, and people started coming around and being like, it's shit. And then you're like, well, yeah, I wonder how this is going to rebound. Like the hype, the bliss, the post-coitus, you're kind of like, and then it's just, then everybody's like, wait a minute, that wasn't that good. So same thing with everything. It's like you're saying that, 3D, I just spent the money on this, so I need to justify it. So I'm going to act like this is the greatest thing ever. And then like a couple months later, I haven't used it in 6 months. I got to just admit it wasn't that good. I think it's going to be the future. I don't think the price point, the tech is quite there. I'm excited for if and when it ever does, but just I was like $600. How do they expect? I'm kind of surprised because I thought they would go super cheap just to get the market share, just because they're the first out of the gate. They've got the money. Like, why not just like, move units.
Lock it down.
Yeah, like you have the perfect
Probably.
opportunity. Make money on the second and third ones. You know, like just get like you could just I don't know.
I think that's what it is. They don't know how well this is going to do. Like you said, with the everyman, with the hardcore gamer, with the tech junkie, with the multimillionaire who's wiping his ass with hundreds. Of course, they're going to be the ones to go out there get this. Like you got a guy like multimillionaire, self-made millionaire who's got like a 12-year-old kid. He's going to buy this for them because hey, this is the new thing. This is the way that the future is leaning. Cool. But like you said, Culprit, the everyday gamer, us, the four of us, maybe excluding Darth, but it's not something that we're gonna go get because it's virtual reality. This is the first step through the door.
I want a reason to go get it,
and
I
that's
just don't
probably
see the reason.
But that's probably the reason why they went and made it $600. They know that Joe Gamer is not going to go out there and spend $600. So make the money while you can now, get those returned, and then
they're not gonna make a profit on that though. Like there's so much R&D in this, but again, unless they have other business uses, I mean that's something we'll just never know. So
yeah.
I don't know. I mean I'm gonna like to see what happens here. Obviously, pay attention to it a little bit. I've known I'm never gonna be a first iteration adopter of this, so there was no decision even for me. I was just like, oh, that's interesting. But and of course, when it does come, people are gonna go crazy, and it's gonna be the new thing on YouTube and Twitch or whatever. It's gonna be like you're not a real gamer unless you have this, and like everything. But then like 6 months later, you'll see it's just not talked about, and then you'll probably see some hype for Oculus Rift 2 or whatever. But the next unit will come out.
2.0.
I'll be more interested to see, like we're saying, the killer app. What's the killer app going to be? The tech is there. It's expensive, but like, where's that app that's going to make everybody go, whew, all right, I kind of need that, aside from Born, obviously. All right, so another thing I'm doubtful. Went from doubtful. What's that?
So I kind of need it for that too, though.
Well, hey, we joke, but that's always been the tech driver, really, at least in the internet age. That's why I have a 3D curved TV.
I know.
All right, so let's go from a technology we were doubting to one I think we can kind of post-mortem here, like Battlefront. And do we lump Battlefront in with Hardline and just tuck it on the shelf? And it's a girl I dated for a couple months, and I don't know what I was thinking here. Or I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm torn on this game because I don't know. Like we knew what it was. I was still okay with it. I knew what it was. I was okay with it. It was even kind of less than I thought it was. Like it was just like this tepid meh. Darth, you seem like you're ready to talk, so take it away.
I'm not sure what I expected out of this, and I kind of got exactly what I expected. We had enough content to make us run for about a week or two, and it's like, well, okay, we are done. And then they released the map pack that they withheld.
The map?
And then there was the movie, and then there was Christmas, and that sort of gave them enough drive to get through the holidays. Obviously, there was a business plan around this, and now we are in sort of the doldrums where, like, we don't even know what's coming up in the first DLC, let alone anything else that's coming along. And at least on PC, the numbers have dwindled to the point at which it's starting to look like Hardline immediately after launch. And from there, we'll see. Like, I still have not bought even an ounce of DLC for this game. I don't even know if it's going to be around by the time
I have
DLC
not even put a minute
announced.
into the Jakku. I should look
horrible.
it right
It's
now.
not worth it. Don't bother.
It's horrible.
No, I looked at it. I was like, that's it? Like, I don't know. I'm so underwhelmed by this. And again, like we said, we did a whole cast on this. I didn't expect to be wowed. I was playing it as a addendum to the movie, like just to kind of help the hype machine, get me excited.
Yep. So the other things that we've learned in the coming weeks that are a little bit more disturbing are that it sounds like we're never getting space battles in the game, and it also sounds like all the content for this game is going to be the original trilogy related. So there's going to be no prequel stuff, and there's going to be no The Force Awakens stuff in this game.
That'll be like part number 2 or something. But yeah.
If there is one, well, there will be.
Yeah, I'm just surprised. I mean,
they're already working on it, from my understanding.
Yeah, we had fun in the second, like the first, and my first point is here that nothing changed. Like I played in the alpha, I played in the beta, played release, obviously. Now looking back, I mean, the alpha was terrible. I'll be honest with you. I did not like the game. I was no buy. I was like, I was so hyped when I got in. I was like, oh yeah. I played it for 10 hours, and it was one map. Basically, that's all you could do. So it got Hoth. So it's like, how long can you play this map? I'm like, it's no problem. They'll fix this. They'll change some things. It's a map, it's a little cover here, a little something there. The different game modes will maybe play differently. I had this open mind because it's alpha's gonna be alpha. Beta was literally the same map. They might have moved some of the turrets here, like a couple feet. Like Darth, I see you commented. They changed maybe a couple of little things, but they didn't go in and rehash what didn't work.
It was all small balance.
Yeah, it was like
there were no broad strokes.
No, and they had time at that point. Like I said, now looking back, it's easy for me to say this was just a rip it and ship it kind of thing and cash in. It had some good moments, but I was just like very little effort. But I mean,
now we can say that Episode 2 is no longer the most underwhelming entry in the Star Wars franchise.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I don't want to be that guy, but going back to the podcast you guys did, focusing on Battlefront, I'm kind of like, because you're like, are you gonna buy it? Yeah. You gonna buy it? Yeah. You gonna buy it?
That's how I was.
No, we knew what we were doing.
Like,
yeah, so I mean, I knew. I think my one is.
Even knowing what I know now, I would still go back and buy it just to get the Star Wars experience. Because unfortunately, it's the best Star Wars experience on the block now.
Well, that's what I think. That's what, like I didn't expect it to be good. Like I really didn't expect it, but I expected to like have that drive, even if I didn't want to play the game, to log in with my friends and play with them playing the game. And I didn't even have that because
that's impossible to do.
I was just like, there's just like I'd log out. Normally, when I play a game, I'm not a good gamer. I actually have to play it often. Thank you so much for the follow on Call for CPU. I lost my train of thought now. Like Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, first month at least, I get my ass kicked. But that, like, when I log off, I go to bed, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, all right, tomorrow I'm going to do this, I got to improve this, I got to work on that, strats, I got to learn this map, there's these things
stuff to actually
to sink your teeth
on.
into. Yeah, like, there's a skill ceiling, there's a reason to play. This game, you're just like, I died to that random nade, I died to that hero that I can't do shit about,
to get that unlocked,
I died to the AT-AT, I died to this one-shot sniper, it's like...
DL-44 again, that guy bought the
$10
package.
I was just like, how to... like. You sit there and you think, you're like, all right, I died in this, all right, I'm playing too aggressive, I got to slow it down. Like you analyze, or as a YouTuber especially, you watch your footage over and over, you pick things out really easily, and that's part of the fun. This game, you're just like, well, yeah. It's like
a lot of oversight.
Not much I can do there, not much you can do there. It's just, it was nothing drove me to come back to the game. So I've got to have about 10 hours, maybe.
I uninstalled it for my PS4, I think. I don't think it's even installed anymore. I think the only reason it would be is because I actually bought my friend's son it for his birthday. Kid's 6 years old, loves Star Wars. The two of them play it constantly, and when I'm like over, like we're all co-oping, we're all switching off, and it's a fun time, like because you can see the kid loves it. Like even when he's dying a punch, he's loving it because hey, it's Star Wars. I'm getting to play in the Battle of Hoth. It's for me. I see a lot of oversight with the game, namely Boba Fett, fucking ridiculously overpowered on Endor. That's just me. I mean, what the fuck were you thinking, Dice? Giving me a jetpack to get pretty much out of the map. I really
think, man, I would love to have been a fly on the wall when they were designing this game, because I think a lot of the decisions that they made were based around, it must have been user testing, and they must have brought in kids and been like, oh, it's too hard for the kids. We need to make it easier. We got to find some way to, play it up for them. At least that's what I want to believe. Now, it could be that they simply are inept.
Yeah. Because you look
is there less inspired development than the hero system? I'm sorry, like that's just to me. It's just
the lack of.
It's just not even fun for me to be the hero. I know, Darth, you said you like being Darth. I just don't even like being them. Like it's boring to me. It's like, okay, I can click and you're dead, I can.
So that's the thing that really bothers me about this game is there are so many examples of good gameplay in games that have been out for 15 odd years, like Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, where the lightsaber combat is so much better than in this game. Like, I realize that they focused a little bit more on that in this game, but I have to wonder what they were doing when they were making this game, because it feels like there was nothing but aesthetics and
it's all it's so shallow. It's like forget a skill ceiling. There's not even a floor. It's like
you got the feel for Star Wars without question, and you feel it. But there are just so many oversights and even little nuances that were issues in Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. There's how is this still a thing? Like, I'm flying around on an X-Wing, a freaking TIE fighter crashes into me, I explode, the TIE fighter is just freaking, going on his merry way. And I'm just like, well...
Shields, man,
okay.
shields. Shields are real.
And then I don't know if it's a testament to the quality of player on PS4 or not, but when I played the beta on Xbox One, I played it at my friend's house on Xbox One, the full game. I see a lot of head glitching in that game. Like that's what it is.
No, it's
Post up, head glitch, and hope for you get AT-AT, and then
Well, you got 64 grenades. You could just take care of that guy, so it's not really a problem.
Oh yeah, with the credit system being so horribly flawed as it is.
I just like all right. I don't want to be a total jerk, but like, let's flip a coin here, and like, what are some good elements that we liked about it? Because there's got to be something. I mean, it's beautiful. The sound is amazing.
They rock the Star Wars feel like. So everything aside, the thing that we said when we were talking 3 months ago was, they rock the Star Wars feel. If they could just balance the game or do something that improved on the fun side of things, they've got the Star Wars down. That would be the hard part to improve. Now, that being said, I think it would take a DICE LA style miracle to fix this game.
Yeah, I just don't know if they can. For me, they can't. There's no depth to it. You can keep putting out like stuff, balance, get rid of some nades, but it's just not going to be that game for me.
You want to see shallow? Look at Battle Jakku. One map, one
couple
mode,
hills,
and then they even had the audacity. Like I don't want to say audacity. Yeah, audacity to have you could play the normal maps, or you could play the normal maps with the new map and new mode, but the new mode's only available on this one map, and it's like the most impossible fucking thing to ever win, really.
But then they tell you, but we gave it to you for free. So brings this other point I had here. The free content versus did you really just withhold this from the game to stretch out your release, stretch out the hype?
China Rising.
We're going to make 5 maps. We're going to split one out so that we can keep players playing at least until the movie. Then when the movie hits, we'll get a few more players. Then Christmas will come and it'll save the year. And then
say Battle Jakku would answer questions about what the fuck happened to Star Destroyer. Yeah, cool. Star Destroyer crashed. Shit happens. I've seen a lot of Star Destroyers blow up in my day.
Didn't the movie show it dead too? It wasn't like it was this big thing.
It was there. It was chilling. There was no need to have show it. I mean,
I don't know. For a game that just lacked so much content, to them to withhold some, even if it was just for a couple weeks, I don't even care about them withholding it. Like if they would have said we're still working on it, it'll come out. But then they're like so smug about it. They're like, but we're giving you free content. Like we're giving you extra free content. Come on, it wasn't born yesterday. I mean, it just annoys me. The marketing, the PR speak.
The guy in the white van down the street is offering me free candy.
It's just, I don't know. Like I'm not even that disappointed.
It's really good if you want a Star Wars game.
I played it.
Well, they have Old Republic.
Actually, you know what? The lightsaber battles in Disney Infinity are better than in Battlefront. Like not even close. Like not even close.
Oh no! Like in Battlefront, it's literally a tree chopping simulator.
Yeah, it's not even close. It's sad. I'm just realizing.
Has anyone actually seen the lightsabers clash when you have Luke and Vader fighting? I don't. I just seen them
one time. I
wish I saw that.
I do it so often.
Thank you, Dustin. Thank you for the follow. I do have your questions at the bottom. We'll get to them at the end of the cast. I'm not even disappointed. I think Dorothy's touched. I'm not even disappointed by this game. Like it's what we thought it was. I'm just shocked at how
would be like our expectations were higher than what they delivered, but our expectations were already rock bottom, and
I'm still surprised. Bottom, so. I know it's like it's not like I hate
rock
it.
Bottom,
they still under-delivered.
Yeah.
I just expected the nostalgia to carry this game, and it couldn't even do that. Now, maybe that's a result of the Star Wars hype machine was just in full force, and I was kind of tired of hearing it. But I guess we'll say here, no spoilers, but let's just wrinkle the movie in here. I love the movie. I enjoyed the movie. Not going to get into spoilers, but just thumbs up, thumbs down. No, I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
No spoilers.
Maybe we'll do like a whole other cast someday, and we'll just talk about the movie, but... I enjoyed that, the wild ride. It was, but so my nostalgia worked fine for the movie, but it wasn't there for the game, and the game was frustrating. It wasn't fun. It was
the thing with the movie was though, the nostalgia factor was obviously there in multiple forms. I mean, when you first see the Millennium Falcon in the movie, like I grown man tears freaking filled my eyes. I'm like, it's the Falcon. Is back, and in the game you're like, oh shit, it's the Falcon.
Yeah,
you just don't give a shit for some reason. The movie brought out so much more nostalgia than the game did. Like, yeah, okay, cool. I'm raiding Hoth. I got the freaking epic John Williams score from Empire.
The sound is about the only thing that was redeeming
to me. That's awesome. I got a Wilhelm scream here and there.
That's my thing, I think, and that's something that like I feel like it always flies under the radar every time, and it doesn't matter. And I will tout these guys if I could meet them
Dice
personally.
is ridiculous. Yeah.
I would just like just drool all over them. Dice's audio team.
Oh yeah,
is amazing, absolutely amazing. And if you want me to say something positive about Battlefront, Dice's audio team,
yeah, I agree.
Amazing, just absolutely like.
Yeah.
I out of every game I've ever played, I don't think there's a better audio team out there. I personally.
I fully agree. And like I don't want to say I know a lot of developers, but I have interactions with a lot of developers, so I do have hesitation even trashing, but I know a lot of people worked very hard on this. I'm not saying like when I say lazy development, I don't mean
the work is obviously there, but
there's no meat on the bone. It's just.
It also could be that if we look at when they announced this game, when they announced they were working on it, when they moved from Battlefield 4, means that they had a very abbreviated time to actually make this game in. And
well, obviously
for
that's
what
why
it
it
is,
was cut. Yeah.
As a fellow developer, I really respect the level of polish they were still able to attain in a very small period of time. Must have been quite a bit of work.
Sure.
But
that's why I applauded when they dropped the single player and all these things. They were being real about it.
To deliver the game that we all expected and wanted, they needed at least another 6 to 12 months.
Yeah, it's too bad because I mean I don't. I think it could have been a lot better. Obviously, I mean Star Wars. The content's there. To me, but again, I kind of then shift back to where Darth was going. Is like I really think their initial design document decisions was not to make a game for us. It was to make a game for almost like an iPad. It was just like the masses, the people that can get in, and everything has training wheels and everything has And I don't know that it was like. I don't think if people like misdeveloped this game. I think this game is exactly what they set it out to be. Mm-hmm. And that's just a design decision. It's not an inaccuracy. Anybody who worked on the project, it's just, like you said, between aggressive timeline and who they wanted to sell this to and what they wanted it to be, I think it is what it is. I just was disappointed.
What bums me is the leaked footage of the original Star Wars Battlefront 3. You see an A-wing land, guy hops out, kills a couple Imperials, hops back in, flies off into orbit, gets into a huge dogfight, and then is all... that's what Battlefront to me is. I wish we had that. I wish we had the going from ground warfare to orbital, like dogfighting, and that kind of bums me out. And it just, when I boot up my PS4, I see Star Wars Battlefront. I'm looking, I'm like, man.
I think as far as stuff, as if you want to talk potential, there's potential out there where people are still trying to capture the essence of what a game that exists on that scale could be. I think the closest thing we have right now is probably PlanetSide 2, in my opinion. With as far as scale goes,
right?
And you can toss all your eggs in the basket, hoping that Battlefront would be something like that, which it's not gonna be just because of the.
No, it never was gonna be.
How cool! Like you put all the resources in development. You took like a No Man's Sky. Meshed it with like a Battlefield 4, and like there's your Battlefront. You have this planet to planet, but you get down, you've got the interplanetary politics and wars, and nobody will ever make this game. But like that to me is what that would be epic. But
that would be game of the year for a decade.
I was gonna say game of the decade. That would be an Oculus driver, But
what else?
No, we're daydreaming here. I do want to move on from this, but. I do want to point one thing out, and maybe we'll get to this later because Dustin R had a kind of a similar comment. I'm just gonna point. We've done this kind of on every game. That's why I don't know if you guys have been part of it. Once again, it was plaudits, applause, raving all around by the Ronku, Game Changer, YouTube at large, and then crickets after launch. And it's just like I'm just saying this to point this out. Be careful. And honestly, I don't have to speak to anybody in the chat right now or any of us. It's just for YouTube, whatever. Once again, people build this up and they talk highly of it, the best game of the year. They're giving us the game we want, all these sound bites, and then they disappear at launch. And it's just careful who you listen to. You know, we all fall for it because it's fine to get caught up in hype. The hype is half the fun in a lot of these games. Mm-hmm. But don't let someone
gotta chase those Ranku dollars.
Yeah, but don't let someone instill that hype in you. Like, if you want to get excited about a movie, like I know Darth, you were probably gonna, like you said, you're gonna buy this anyway without anything else because obviously you love Star Wars, given your name.
Yep,
it's fine. That's fine. You spend your money how you want. I spend money on stupid shit all the time, but like once again, we have another game that they take credit for. They're all about changing the game and adapting it and making it better and improving it. And when the game comes out and it falls on its face, they don't want to be associated with that game anymore. And it's just like, that doesn't work that way. So just, again, we got a pretty bad record here of these guys going crazy.
Wait, what?
So, I don't see anybody making content for it anymore. I don't see any, without the exclusivity, they're not interested. So, again, kind of viewer beware, I guess is what I'm saying. So, with that Star Wars, I think. Well, go ahead, Bob. You got something to say?
I was just gonna say to kind of it's not necessarily pointing out Ranku and the people under that umbrella directly, but just a trend that I've noticed on YouTube. Period. In regards to a lot of game reviewers. Now, not all of them, I would say, have crossed into this threshold, but there are a fair few that have, in which I feel like a lot of game reviewers are becoming less game reviewers and now more game advertisers. Yeah. But under the guise of a reviewer. Like, to me, that's what all the Ranku partners are.
Save this a little bit though, because we're gonna probably talk about this on the after show later, because we have a question right into that realm, and so we'll get into that in a minute. And I happen to agree, but yeah, I'm just gonna touch uncalled for. Bringing a comment in the chat. I think it would have been really cool if you would have like really forged the movie game thing, because it's beautiful, it sounds great. Maybe you buy the game, you get a movie ticket with it, and just like really kind of marriage that with the movie experience. I would have been a little better with it. And Lanky Soldier actually has a very good point that I can't believe we didn't bring up. At least it works out of the box. I guess we got to give it that. I mean,
it was. They identified the number one issue from Battlefield 4, and they did not have that problem.
No, I honestly, I think mostly for me, I can't remember an issue. I mean, I don't have the hours.
There's complexity to it. That's why.
But it's
there's
still
no complexity. Yeah. You have a simplistic, dumbed down game.
I guess the matchmaking's been a mess, right? Like the matchmaking's terrible. But
can't even play with.
You're right. I mean, compared to the other games, but it's like, I mean, that's fair. It worked, but it's really sad that is a redeeming quality these days. But it's real. It's real with DICE anyway. So
I will. My final bit on Battlefront will be $20. That's all. You pay me $20. You pay me $20.
Uncalled for CPU saying. I think the price point would have been very valid. I mean, but it was never going to happen because it's a huge license. Disney got to make that money back. They're doing well. They're doing well to getting that $4 billion back though. All right, so let's close the book on Battlefront. Let's just go around quickly. Like, how many hours do you think everybody's got on it? I'm guessing I've got 10, maybe 15. I don't think so. I'd look it up now, but I feel like it would mess my Windows up. Darth, you probably have the most. What do you think you got ballpark? I mean,
I think it's 85.
85, and that's super low for you on a shooter.
That's not included. That's not including the beta, so it's slightly north of 100. Then
say 100, yeah. Right. Pub, what do you got
for Battlefront?
Yeah.
You want to know how many hours I have in Battlefront?
Yeah.
Beta hours?
I have beta.
Yeah. So you never did buy it. Oh, good for you.
That's it. Yeah. I didn't even pull the.
No shit bucket.
Well done. Anything you experienced in the beta, you experienced 1/4 of the final game.
No, you experienced the better game because it didn't have all the nades. It didn't have all the crap that to me ruined the game. I had more fun in beta when we were running. Was Drop Zone?
Was the homing rocket in beta? I don't think it was.
No, the homing rocket and the cluster. No, it was beta. Was the
sniper rifle?
Yeah, the cycle rifle, jetpack, ion,
jetpack, and the shield,
ion grenade. That was it. Yeah,
I had way more fun in the beta than I did in release. Way more fun. Like, we were playing Drop Zone for 3 nights in a row. Like, just that's it. Oh, yeah. One map.
You play Drop Zone now. Good luck even getting.
But it was Sullust, right? Like, it was not even a good map. Yeah, like, there's nothing to it. It's a boring map. It's one map over and over again. The matchmaking was really imbalanced, so it was always either you're getting crushed or crushing. And I had way more fun with that than I had with release.
Still like that.
I think it's telling that map, which is the worst. It is the worst map in the game for Drop Zone. But compared to the other maps, that's still the best one. And like when you see it pop up, like, oh, thank God. That just tells you how bad balanced. Game you got.
Yeah. All right. So, Bubbles, what did you have hours wise, so we can move on from this?
Honest to God, I think less than 6.
Yeah.
Like,
so
I've had
kind of a dud for all of us, huh?
I've had it installed
That's too
since
bad.
day one, and it's only 6 hours, and I've had Black Ops 3 installed for 2 weeks,
I don't even
Plus.
enjoy like bashing this game. Like that's how bad it is. Like I just don't. I don't have any fun in it.
Won't
It's
talk
just
about it.
kinda-
Oh, I thoroughly enjoy it. Trust me.
I know. I see you salty on it all the time, way more than I'm
Partnered
used to.
by
All
Ronco.
right, so we're gonna close the cover. We're closing the book on Battlefront. Unfortunately, we'll
right.
see if any news comes up. We'll talk about it again another time. But we've devoted a lot of airtime to Battlefront. But it's a big thing. Let's turn on to something that's way more fun and obviously annoying. Battlefield 5 speculation. That's probably the last topic for the proper cast, and then we'll go into after show. This is all the rage with the YouTubers right now because there ain't shit else to talk about. It's all these questions. You guys, you see the titles. The question mark titles are coming back right now because we're in between games.
See the question mark.
Oh.
Question mark divulges them from any account.
I'm going to make a YouTube calendar, and it's going to be like a farmer's almanac. Like, I can predict this shit out for 12 years. Like, I can just tell you when this stuff is going to start happening. It's amazing. You're going to get a lot of viewer mail. Those are always the classic videos when people don't have anything else to talk about because they can make the mail up themselves and be like, oh, I want to talk about this. This is a good topic. Let me make a fake email so that I can talk about this.
Oh, Darth, why are you so awesome? Oh, well.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And then it's like, then you get these question mark questions. I got a good source, but then it's like, well, the source didn't know, when it goes around. Because nobody calls anybody on this. Like later after the fact, nobody goes back and's like, dude, you said remember the DLC was going to take place in America? No, there was 1,000 videos made on that, but nobody called it
American. Oh my
Oh,
god!
Right.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So
I have a bone to pick with that.
it's just I get so much enjoyment out of this at this point now. Like I'm just I don't know why. I just like the question marks, and I'm just like, here we go, we're clicking this. This shit's like reality TV to me. I'm like this. I don't watch it for what they say. I just watch it for how far they're gonna go with it. I'm like, come on, if you're gonna do this, sell it. Like, go for it.
We're gonna figure out how to turn it into a drinking.
I know this. We could do a whole cast, and we would have the suspects, and the chat could give us videos, and we just watch them together. And we
watch.
because it's like if you're gonna do it. Like go. Like don't do this little tiptoe and stuff. Like dive deep. Give me some.
What you need to do?
Give me a story.
Look at the GTA 5 YouTube community if you want to get a drinking game. They'll talk about before Heist drop for GTA 5. Like, oh, Heists are coming this month. Heist this, Heist that, Heist this. Like I got it on a good source. He's data mining. He's found files for Heist. It's coming out. A year later, I told you it was coming out. It's coming out, and it's like.
What was the one I saw for GTA 5? They were saying, I don't know if it actually became a thing or not, but they said something about
The casino.
no, not the casino. I saw some dude saying, like some big GTA YouTuber saying that they were bringing the GTA 4 map into GTA 5.
Yes, that was not that long ago. So
yeah,
anyone who's been keeping up with
the rumor mill.
It's great.
It's actually it was based
Because
off
we
of,
watch it. Viewers watch it. That's the unfortunate part.
It was based off of the fact that when you load up GTA 5 now, like it gives you these whole like GTA Online things, even if you're loading in a single player. And one of the things they were hawking was, I love LC for Liberty City T-shirt, which is where GTA 4 is taking place. And they, there was a guy who data mines it. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He was like, I can't wait for Lowriders Part 2, which is like part 2 of a supposed part 2 of a DLC that came out.
Bumbles, we're talking about Battlefield 5 here. So
yeah, but the fact of the matter is, like, you just see one thing inside of a game file, you're going to take it and run it with it, and you're going to beat that.
And that's devs know this now, too.
So you make like 5 videos out of that.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to...
The file is still there.
I saw a picture. It was Photoshop, but
My wife is having quite the night out, boy. At least I have radio contact with her now.
I
so
remember. What was it?
All right, so let's wrap this back around because I know you'll go into nuts and bolts about that all night. We can talk about it afterwards. Battlefield 5 speculation. I think the front runner right now is what 2143. And
is it?
Oh yeah.
That's so okay. So somebody.
Well, what happens? The property happens. One guy says this, and then it's just whew.
Yeah, they have an inside source. They got an email or a message from somebody that says all this stuff. I went to DICE. I played this game. This is exactly what's going on.
Hold on, before you go far, chat, tell me what you want Battlefield 5 to be, because I'm curious. Like what the way people portray this is a certain way, but I'm curious what actual people want. I know what I want. I know I'm not necessarily the mainstream. Like I want a certain thing. I'm old and crotchety. But chat, what do you want Battlefield 5 to be? Or if you don't care, say you don't care. But I care, so I know a lot of people do. There's more views in Battlefield 5 speculation right now than any actual gameplay of things that are out. So go ahead, Darth. What's your theory on this? You were about to say something.
Well, until we see something to confirm this for real, it's a anything is plausible at this point. The only time they've ever talked about Battlefield 5, they've always just called it Battlefield 5 and investor
or Battlefield 2016, I think.
Conferences. Or Battlefield 2016, or whatever they've called it, and they've never alluded to what the actual theme of it is. So I've always rolled under the assumption that they're going to stay with where the franchise has been.
I think we talked about this on Twitter.
That's been my most likely thing to happen. Now, could we get a 2143? It's possible. Could we get a BC3? That's also possible. But could we get a World War II game? That's also possible. Although at the same time, like you look at what's out in the market right now. Call of Duty's doing postmodern future. They've done the futuristic expansion pack in Battlefield 4. They've alluded to 2143 and a couple of Easter eggy things as a possibility.
Now, not even just Easter eggs, but the map, period.
Yeah, the DLC, the whole DLC was almost basically.
Yeah, the whole DLC sort of alludes to that future. And I could not be less excited for a 2143.
Juan's right. Regardless,
I feel like we're carpet bombed by all this future stuff. And I feel like EA already has a lot of future stuff in their warehouse.
Well, Titanfall 2, yeah. Well, I guess they might not be associated with that anymore.
Recently.
Here's Juan's right. Juan's absolutely right. We don't know a lot, but what we do know about Battlefield 5, it will have some iteration of Metro. It's automatic. It's gonna happen. It's 100% gonna have Metro. All right, so here's the thing. Like, this is set up. Like, to me, it's so stupid. It's like that. This is, but it's so obvious to me that EA could easily fuck this up because they don't do the obvious. They don't do the easy. Battlefield, the flagship. I think Darth, we were talking about this, should stay contemporary. Like, it should just be the modern military shooter, vanilla, not simulator, but reflect
like
real world.
Like, they didn't,
the flagship.
When they went and made sequels to Counter-Strike, they didn't make Counter-Strike future present.
Right. They didn't make it Laser Strike. It was, so just keep that there. And it just happens that that's the next game. Then you have the dev cycle. You have spaces in between. So now you've got Visceral, you've got Dice LA, you've got all these in-house studios. Have them do the 2143. Have them do the Bad Company 3. Have them do the World War II. But the flagship Battlefield should stay contemporary to reflect the modern. You want to go 20 here, 20 years here, 20 years here.
You keep your core entertained and you keep them, you update what they like.
Right. And what you do is
do the experimental thing.
Because that's fairly vanilla. And you keep it simple. Lanky Soldier's talking about it already scrolled, but his gist was it's going to be a contemporary shooter. I think he said near future, which I cringe at. And it's going to be competitive focused, which I would love to see them do that. Strip it down a little bit.
They keep using that word.
I know. I've seen that buzzword come up a lot too. But to me, I don't even care so much about the competitive. But what that would tell me is they will limit the bloat and focus narrowly. Let's get the engine ironed out. Let's get the balance tweaked out. Let's build the base, the foundation, so that then you can go and do the 2143. And now you got the engine and everything figured out. You build on top of that. You got Bad Company 2. You build on top of that. You want to do a World War II, and you're just reskinning guns and you're changing some balance. Like, keep the flagship right there, so everybody knows what it's going to be every 3 years, 4 years, maybe. I don't know. Take whatever you want, and run the spin-offs in between. Like, it's just, to me, it's just like it's like the Olympics, right? It's like every 3 years. You have this contemporary shooter that they've had the time to work on, so hopefully we don't have a lot of the issues we were just talking about with Battlefront. And that, sure, maybe people get bored with that, but there's a lot of people like me that would not. I'd love that. And then you run the spin-offs, the World War II, the 2143s, the Bad Company 3s, that people will buy in the meantime. And I don't know, they could just... But I wouldn't be shocked if they're like, oh my god, there's so many YouTubers and guys that say they want 2143, we better ship this. And I think it's going to be a disaster. Tub, I'm sorry. Like, I would still buy it and I will play it, but I don't think it's actually what people want as much as it's reflected to be what people want. So
I know it's what I want. So,
right, and I understand that.
That's why.
At the end of the day, that's all I care about.
But
is there the thing? Would you rather have 2143 or would you rather have Titanfall 2? That's actually a fleshed out game.
Yeah, I would definitely Titanfall 2.
Titanfall 2.
Just for the iteration. That's it. Like, I think I like the content of 2143 better, but I don't want them taking a first shot at it.
I'm with you on that, Culprit. Like, Call of Duty's been doing it for years now. They have 3 development studios now. They have Infinity Ward doing, I think what they're doing now is Ghosts, where it's more of a slightly postmodern shooter, where it's set in a more like grounded reality. And then you have Black Ops done by Treyarch.
Go crazy with those, the spin-offs.
Future.
Yeah, go
and
nuts.
then you have Sledgehammer, who's doing slightly Black Ops-ish things with
they're
Advanced
done.
Warfare.
Yeah.
So, we don't know what's going to happen. But you
Ops.
have 3 separate studios. And now you have DICE LA, which is essentially Danger Close. You have DICE Sweden, and you have Visceral. Give Visceral the little hardline, the hardline titles. Give DICE Sweden the main Battlefield games, because they obviously have a story.
No, don't give them that. Don't give them that.
Thing is,
I'm worried about that too. I'd almost have DICE LA do it. Yeah.
I don't think the next Battlefield game, if it's DICE Sweden,
it's always going to be them as the flagship.
Well, I don't think then it's going to be 2143. I think it's going to be Battlefield 5 because they have a clear story that they're telling, obviously.
But what their story arced right up to 2143, though, is what I'm worried about.
But that's just DLC, though. I mean, they have a story building up.
Maybe they'll shoot for, instead of we're like focusing on 2143, maybe the curveball will be a 2043.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea because that would fall right into the realm.
Even in Final Stand, the Titans that we see being built, they're not like the Titans from 2142. They're like prototypes of it. So we have to get there eventually. We have to get to that second ice age that comes in 2142.
Visceral is working on a Star Wars game, though, right?
Visceral,
like an RPG Star Wars game or something, right?
No, I think they're doing something. I don't know. BioWare and Visceral are doing something. Then they have a
but
new
it's Star
studio
Wars. I'm pretty sure they've announced that it's Star Wars. No.
Yeah, they are. They're doing the Star Wars.
So we got DICE LA, we got DICE Stockholm, and that's really it, right?
Visceral, as well.
But isn't Visceral doing Star Wars? Is what I'm saying. No.
I'm sure they're going to split the teams off. They're going to have a smaller team working on the Battlefield title, and then they're going to.
I don't know. Let's see. Right now, would you rather have Battlefield 5 be World War II or Battlefield 5 be 2143? Puppy, I know where you stand. Chat, why don't you tell me? Because here's the thing. I don't get. And Darth, you can come with me. I know you're a little younger than I am, but maybe you're closer.
I'm sold World War II all the way.
See, I don't get that because
I will buy 10 World War II games.
I grew up playing World War II everything, and it's like I'm just so done with World War II. Now the only benefit of World War II is they couldn't do jumpsuits and exoskeletons and all this homing smart pistol bullshit. It would be everybody'd have almost a sniper rifle and you just shoot at each other. But so it would have to be really simplistic and it'd be easy to balance. That would be good. But I'm just done with World War II. So
I think something that's nice and endearing about Battlefield 1942 that they've gotten away from in the series is just the arcade action of it that I felt was great. Now, is that the kind of game I'm interested in these days? I don't know. I think I would have to play around with it.
Would World War II sell right now?
I think doing a Battlefield 1944, I guess, is what it would be, since 43 was on the PlayStation or whatever it was. I think it would be a challenge for developers.
Because let's face it, guys, we're on the
back. Challenge to sell to the public too.
We're on the back side of the market. Yeah, we're. Yeah,
you don't have the culture of World War II being pushed quite as much as it was.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm burned. I'm done of it. Because I played a ton of it growing up. It was what every shooter was World War II. It felt like. But even now, I'm like, let's just step back and look. I'm not the guy they make games for anymore. How you gonna sell the kids? Give me a Desert Storm.
Would you want though with World War II? Wouldn't you like to see if DICE can finally understand the engine they built and make it work? How awesome would it be, though?
DICE LA, I think, does.
Well, every other studio knows how to use the freaking Frostbite engine better than DICE does. But wouldn't you like to see, in Frostbite 3 or 4, whatever the hell they're going to call it next time, Omaha Beach with all the particles exploding around you, all the freaking limbs flying around, all the shrapnel, everything? Wouldn't you just want to live in Saving Private Ryan's opening sequence? And see
that'd be cool. But that's the thing. Saving Private Ryan came out in what, 97?
Something like that. Yeah.
There's kids that are going to college today that weren't born when.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So bring it to their attention. You make a game based upon World War II. Bring it to the attention. Bring it back to the forefront. That's how you could swing it back from modern day to.
See, DT's got a good point. I think there's way more public outcry or public interest in a bad company than there would be a 2143. Yet we're seeing this groundswell of 2143, and we do have more hints in the Battlefield 4 towards 2143. But I think Battlefield Bad Company 3 would be way more of a mainstream game, more. And I think that the opportunity for them is to this is what I thought they should have done, is they should have rolled out Bad Company and made that the COD competitor. Infantry focused, smaller, faster, gun on gun, and then you could then keep Battlefield, the more vehicle, the Battlefield experience that they like to always tout, but they didn't do that. They clearly want to compete with COD, but so I would rather see a Bad Company, but there's no talk of that. But
they ended the story with a cliffhanger too in Bad Company too, where America's being invaded by Russia.
That was
finally.
the last. Well, no, I guess I played the campaign, and was that Battlefield 3 that they made you play the campaign to get the weapons? Or was that Battlefield 4?
Before.
That was 4 they made you do the
where we choose who we kill. Do we
right,
kill
because Battlefield 3 was the co-op you had to play, right?
4. You played 4. You had 4. You had to play through the single player campaign. 3. You had to play the cooperative missions to get weapons.
Right, that was fucking ridiculous.
Which I just farmed the helicopter mission.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, so I did play the Battlefield 4 campaign. Terrible. But Bad Company, I'll say, was the last campaign I played that I enjoyed, I guess. But
well, it's like it's like the greatest reference ever. Like you're just walking around, you hear someone referencing. You see that guy, the movie where the guys in the jungle get killed off one by one. Oh, you mean Predator? He's like, I was thinking like Rambo or something. Like it's just like those little moments, and it worked. And then the multiplayer was so stripped down and so basic. Like, here's your classes, here's your couple guns, find what you like, go out there, kill shit, blow things up, get the objective.
I guess that's my general point. Is I hope, regardless of what it is. I mean, I think right now we've had Hardline, we've had Battlefront. I think if they deviate again from like the Battlefield and do a 2143 or even a Bad Company 3, depending where that takes place, or I don't think it'll go over as well as people seem to think it is.
No,
or at least the YouTubers want people to think it is. So I think you got to come back with a regular contemporary Battlefield. Beyond that, I would love to see them spin off and do a Bad Company, do a 2143, even do World War II, whatever. But I think the general consensus is we want to see them narrow their focus. Don't try to please everyone, but just please the people that play your games. Like, stop worrying about the guys that have never bought a Battlefield before and trying to get them to buy a Battlefield. Make a game for the people that continually buy Battlefield.
But that's what they did with Battlefield 4's multiplayer. Like, here's a sniper rifle and look at Battlefield 3's recon unit versus Battlefield 4's. Battlefield 3, you can't prone. You actually have to adjust for bullet drop. You can't freaking zero your scope in. You don't have all these things protecting. You can't throw down both a tugs and a claymore behind you. Whereas Battlefield 4, it's like here's everything you need. Here, mark guys, look through night vision with this. Zero your scope in for 600 meters, get a perfect headshot. They did that, and personally, I think that's EA's doing. They want that bigger chunk of the market. They want more players, more money. That's how they see it. They don't care about the overall
I mean, they got
concern. I don't think
to please, but it's just. It's time they made a solid, like you were saying before, with Battlefield. It's time they made a game that works out of the box, a game that has some focus, and the game that's it's not one of these wait until the end of premium and then judge this game. No, that's not how that works. I judge the game I paid for. But I mean, what they have theoretically they'll have a 3-year dev cycle on paper. Whether they've actually devoted that time to that or not,
it's 2 years.
Because they've got Mirror's Edge in there too, right?
I think it's every
Who's
other
working
year
on Mirror's Edge? That's Stockholm, isn't it?
That's
it's probably a pocket dev of them, but
working. Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, they got to make some money, but
hey, everybody don't want to work on Battlefield. Come work on Mirror's Edge.
They ruined Battlefield.
You need a break. So, all right, but we're gonna wrap up here. We're hitting about the 2-hour mark. We've covered kind of the big things. I've got a couple of extra talking points. That we'll talk about in the aftercast. I have Overwatch here, but I figured that's more of an extra talking point. But I mean, we've covered Division, Oculus Rift, Star Wars, Battlefront, Battlefield 5 speculation. Because now I can upload this to YouTube, and I could put. I mean, I'm the lead title on this video for the podcast. It's gonna be Battlefield 5 speculation ? And then I'll actually list the stuff we talked about.
Hell yeah!
Don't forget
I gotta get them views, right? I mean, this is kind of YouTube 101. Oh, it's so crazy. It's so bad. So bad. I see people and I'm just like, really? I mean, you have no shame. You have no shame.
That's SEO going.
It's crazy.
Don't forget the other tags that sell and get clicks, man.
Yeah.
You get your
Ready for Paris?
Your boob thumbnail. You got all the question marks for speculation, and then you have in the little hyphen brackets, gone sexual, almost died.
Well, the funny, like I've been watching a lot of vloggers now, like Casey Neistat and all those. Like, I've just gotten into this. I don't know. I've meandered into that part of the YouTube, And some of the guys are great. Like some of these people are great and they're inspirational, and I enjoy it. But these dudes are shameless about their thumbnails, their titles. It is just like thumbnail 101, and I'm like, guys, I recognize and respect your game, but that is like shameless. I guess that's what happens when you're feeding your kids with your YouTube views. But I'm just like, Jesus, like, there is no correlation between what you advertise this video as and what it is. It's a vlog. It's not like a sermon or a lecture. Like, it's really simple what you did in this video. It was what you did yesterday. Like, I was like, wow, okay. It's fun, but, yeah. It's what people do. There you go. Is that the video that you're uploading right now, Darth?
Yep, I'm working on it right now.
Get all this
title is already trademarked.
Get that big fishing net, man, and just get all the views. Yeah. So you forgot like giveaway, #giveaway, because that's a little Twitch bleeding over to YouTube.
At some point, YouTube does recognize that you're trying to bomb it and stops directing traffic towards you.
I think YouTube does the opposite.
Yeah.
If your video is blatantly not what you're advertising it to be, you'll get problems.
Yeah, but that's by a third party. That's not YouTube. That's that group, the 404, whatever the hell they are. They go around flagging things. It's not YouTube. YouTube only does something when they have to do something. But it's brought to their attention by a third party. I very rarely and don't think it would be you. You could. They feature people that do this. Like they don't care. Because those are the people that make the money, obviously. But we're going on a total other tangent. But we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to drop the stream. Doge is going to come back, I think. That has been promised. Doge is coming back. So let's just not pretend you're even coming back for Darth or I or Bumbles. We're coming back for Doge. We're going to do an AMA. Or ADA. Ask Doge anything. And I'm just going to stand here and watch Doge. I love this thing. I do. We'll tell the story about my boys today. It was pretty funny. I'm going to drop the stream so I can bring it right back up. It makes it easier for me to arcade. I've had 2 beers, guys. Really. Archive and put up on YouTube. But thank you guys for coming out. We're going to do an after show, but right now we're going to close it out for proper. YouTube, thank you for watching. Darth, thank you like always. Bumbles, thanks for stepping in, buddy. Appreciate that. And breaking the shit out of NDAs like you just don't care. And Puffy, thank you, my man.
What are they going to do?
And Doge, thank you for making the appearance.
Sister's a lawyer.
All right, guys. So we're going to go offline right now. So thank you guys. Thanks for coming out. Hope you enjoyed it. And we will talk to you next time. Hopefully it's not 3 months, Pop. Let's shoot for a month from now.
Yeah, for real, man. Come on.
We'll shoot for 2 months.
We're both trying to stream now. So it's like I want to do this every week. But then I'm like, after all the shit, my wife's still not home. Like, I'm just like, all the shit that goes on. Anytime I try to do a cast, it's amazing. I don't want the stress in my life every week. So, I don't know. But we will do it more frequently for sure. Even though if we don't have games to talk about. But we'll see. But thank you guys. Talk to you next time.